It's not often a business owner from Nipawin finds herself in the bustling streets of Toronto to accept a national award. But it doesn't sound like there's anything average about Theresa Chalus's business. For the last decade, she has run Nipawin Florist and Twisted Tree, and this weekend she's receiving a Retailer of Distinction Award from the Canadian Gift Association. I've reached Theresa over the phone in Toronto. Hi there.
Good morning, Shauna.
So I just wanted you to take me to the moment when you found out that you'd won this award. What was the first thought that entered your mind?
Well, I'll tell you, they phoned me back in October, and I'll be really honest, when I picked up the phone and she told me that we'd won, I was quiet, and I think she was a little bit taken back by it. And I think it was just the shock of it.
Yes.
That they had taken the time to acknowledge us in Saskatchewan. So I probably didn't come across as being overly thrilled right off the moment. And I think I sat back quietly for a few hours and just tried to digest it.
How do you feel differently about it now?
Well, it's still an accolade or being brought to surface or to light in front of a lot of people is not a position that I'm completely comfortable with. But I think it says more, not just about me, but it says a lot about my staff and my community, Nipawin, and about Saskatchewan as a whole.
I know that you bought the business about 10 years ago, and I wonder what appealed to you about the idea of owning a specialty gift shop and a flower shop as well.
I'm a fifth-generation retailer in my family. My family's come from a retail background that supersedes me, and grew up with it. People, mom and dad talking over the dinner table, grandparents, both sets of grandparents in the retail business. It's always been something that I don't know, there was a genuine interest in it. I started at the flower shop just as a floral business, and then in it itself, it's very seasonal, and we're in a small community, 4,800 people. So you need something that offsets those quiet times, and so that's how this all came to be, a space filler. That's all it was.
Well, clearly it's become a lot more than that. I've looked at some of the pictures that you have on your Facebook page of all of the things that you sell at the store, and I won't do a complete list of it, but I noticed you've got Hilberg and Burke, you've got some very beautiful clothing, some beautiful even books, tableware. Can you talk a little bit about the range and diversity of things that you have eventually brought into that space?
We started out, the first store had 900 square feet in retail space. We stayed there for 6 years, and 4 years ago, we bought a 3,600 square foot store. It always comes down to a need or a necessity in my mind. And people ask me, what do you do? What do you sell? And then I start listing it off, and it sounds kind of crazy. And I had a man say to me the other day, it sounds like a department store. Well, kind of department store, but it's in small towns where stores are closing rapidly. There's holes all the time, and so people can't always get in their car and drive 3 hours to Saskatoon.
It's true.
So this affords them the opportunity to buy something close to home.
It seems like it's become something of almost a destination location in Nipawin.
We've tried to set it up that way. When I first started this, I didn't just want to sell stuff. And I don't expect every time a woman or a man or a child comes into the store that they have to buy something. There isn't always a need in someone's life. So if they could come into the space, feel comfortable, spend some time hanging out and, with some great music and friendly people, when they needed that product or that thing, they'd think of me and they'd come back. So we set it up in that way.
You had a certain vision when you started things, and I'm wondering, how has that vision sort of changed over the years? Clearly, you've quadrupled in size, physical size, so that had an impact on the vision. But even in terms of what you want to be in the community, how has that changed?
I'm not sure it has changed. I think it was just set up for a space, a go-to space where people would feel relaxed and comfortable to come to. Nipawin doesn't have a mall. People in the cities will go walk the mall. There's no mall in Nipawin. So they can come into my store in an environment where they don't feel the pressure, where they feel comfortable with the people that are there. And we've set it up in a way that it kind of inspires you. You have different vignettes in all the different areas. And if you can take a piece of that home physically or just get inspired to take something home to do at home, then we've succeeded.
Was there a moment when you looked around at your shop and thought, this is exactly what I wanted to create?
Oh, no. I'm always thinking, what can I do next? What's the next thing? And as soon as it's full and we're busy and there's people around, I'm like, okay, now what can we do next? What will bring them back? What's exciting for them? People like an experience. Most of us have stuff. We have stuff. We probably have all the stuff we need, but they like an experience. So that's part of what we're trying to do at Nipawin Florist and Twisted Tree is offer them an experience so that they can enjoy it.
You are in Toronto now, and today you will be getting up there and receiving this, pretty significant retail award on behalf of yourself and all the people you've created this space with. Besides being nervous and anxious about sort of all the public accolades that you're going to get, what are you kind of most anticipating in a positive way about the award ceremony that's going to be happening?
There's always something about being around people, the peers that are within the same industry as you, having those conversations about business itself. That's what you look to. Sometimes in small towns, it's tough for us to leave. We can't just go and take those long drives and go check out other businesses and have those conversations. So when you get to Toronto this time of the year or in August, you hope that you can have some of those conversations with people within the industry and maybe take home little tiny tidbits of information that either inspire you or help you do your business well.
Okay. Well, Theresa, I hope you have a fantastic time at the ceremony, and congratulations again on becoming a retailer of distinction in Canada.
Thanks so very much.
Theresa Chalus owns Nipawin Florist and Twisted Tree. She's in Toronto this weekend to receive a Retailer of Distinction award from the Canadian Gift Association, and that's where I reached her this morning.